Avi Lipkin is here from Israel, and he's brought his brand new book. It's called Return to Mecca. And the title of this book, Return to Mecca, what could that possibly mean? And on the cover is a picture of a black cube. That's where the story starts. Avi, let's start right there.
Yes. I believe that the Bible is a GPS. I believe that the Bible took place, a lot of it took place in Arabia. Actually, in most churches, Christians say to me, we know that Mount Sinai, the real Mount Sinai, is not in the Sinai Peninsula, but rather in northwest Saudi Arabia. It's called Jebel al-Lawz. I am the first Jew in the Jewish world who's coming to the rabbis and saying, the Torah is a GPS. Jethro, the high priest of Midian, I believe was the high priest of the Kaaba, the black stone, which is today in Mecca. There was no Mecca, it was just a black stone in those days.
Usarlo.
Nuestras cabras no conocen a tu padre.
Aquí en el pozo está la marca de Jethro.
Tampoco saben leer.
Ni nosotros.
Es el caí de Midian.
Entonces que engendre hijos para guardarlo, ¿no, hija?
¡Cuidado!
¿Y quién ha sido la valiente que ha hecho cara a los amalecitas?
Ha sido Séfora. Es la mayor de todas.
Hermanas, mientras os repartís al extranjero entre vosotras, iré a pedir a nuestro padre que lo reciba en su tienda. El caí de Midian.
Moses was the son-in-law of Jethro. Moses was the understudy of Jethro for 40 years. And when Moses went to take the children of Israel out of slavery, he gave them the phylacteries, which they are to put on their forehead and on their left arm, as a sign from God that we are leaving the pyramid system of slavery in Egypt, and we're going to the cube system of freedom in Arabia. And it must be remembered that there was no Judaism in those days, there was no Christianity, there was no Islam. All people, including the Israelite slaves, were pagans. And of course the golden calf, basically the children of Israel reverted to the gods that they had known in Egypt when Moses delayed coming back. So the purpose of this book is to show where exactly we were, and that 38 years at least of the Exodus was in Arabia. Moses, Aaron, Jethro were at the Kaaba, which is today Mecca. And when God says in Deuteronomy 11 that the borders of Israel will include the desert to the south, that desert is Arabia. Jethro was a cousin because Jethro's descended from Midian. Midian was one of the brothers of Isaac. So you have Ishmael, son of Hagar, and then you have the children of Keturah. So Midian is one of the children of Keturah.
¿Vienes de lejos?
De Egipto.
A través del desierto, a pie. Sin duda alguna, el que no tiene nombre ha guiado tus pasos.
El que no tiene nombre. ¿Vosotros los beduinos conocéis al Dios de Abraham?
Abraham es el padre de muchos pueblos. Nosotros somos hijos de Ismael, su primogénito, y prestamos obediencia a Dios.
Mis hermanos confían en que Él los libertará. Pero siguen en la esclavitud.
Mañana partiremos hacia los prados altos, al pie de la montaña sagrada. Será un honor para mí que nos acompañes.
Soy un extranjero en tierra extraña. No poseo ninguna clase de bienes ni conozco las artes del pastoreo. Además, se castiga con la muerte dar asilo a un esclavo fugitivo.
¿Esclavo? La muerte.
Entre nuestro pueblo, no. Eres inteligente y con eso basta. Además, tengo 7 maestras que te enseñarán a pastorear. Séfora es la mayor. Aprenderás mejor con ella.
Oh.
Creo que me quedaré en esta tierra.
Moses, when he had to flee Egypt after he killed the taskmaster who was beating the Jewish slave, the Israelite slave, he knew where he was going. He knew the geography. He was almost Pharaoh, so he had to know the geography. So he took the Israelites through the desert to what is today Nuweiba, on the eastern shore of the Red Sea of Sinai. That is where they crossed. And by the way, there's no archaeological proof at all of an exodus in the Sinai Peninsula. But there is tons of archaeological proof in the Arabian Peninsula. In the New Testament, chapter 4, verse 25 of Galatians, it says, that Mount Sinai and Hagar, which are in Arabia.
So my question, and I'll ask it for everybody who's watching, why in the world would you strap a little wooden box with scriptures from Deuteronomy on the inside and attach that to your left arm and to your forehead? Why would you do that, and why would it be cube-shaped?
Perfectly cube-shaped. And so the contention in my book is that when Moses came to Pharaoh, and remember, Pharaoh was God. Pharaoh was God in Egypt to the Egyptian people. He created the Nile, and he created this, and he created that.
فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى.
And who's Moses? Moses is a guy who stutters. It's very hard to talk. And God says, give the people a sign. And the phylacteries were the sign. He gave Pharaoh the signs. You remember his rod became a crocodile or serpent, ate the other crocodiles. Right. Mm-hmm. And the leprosy in the chest. These are all signs. And then later the 10 plagues. And Moses gave signs to the elders of Israel. And Moses gave signs to the people. You're talking about primitive pagan people who were shepherds. And they're saying to Moses, well, why should we listen to you? And so this phylactery has 4 pouches, 4 parchments. The first 2 are Exodus 13. Then you have Deuteronomy 6 and Deuteronomy 11. Exodus 13, we are still in Egypt. We are still in slavery. We're about to flee. But Exodus 13 talks about a sign on thy arm and frontlets between thine eyes. And, I know young people won't know the word that I'm going to say now, but there's a word that older people like you and I remember, which is, gyroscope. A gyroscope takes us directly in the direction we have to go. And Moses is leading the children of Israel out of the pyramid triangular system to the cubic square system of freedom in the desert. And again, Moses says to Pharaoh, let my people go so that they may circle me in the desert. The other 5 times, let my people go so that they may serve the Lord in the desert. But the first one is they should go around in circles. Now, Hajj is a pilgrim to Mecca. Hag is the Egyptian pronunciation. Hag in Hebrew means a holiday or going around in circles. Hag in Hebrew means a holiday or going around in circles. Or going around in circles. Or going around in circles. Or going around in circles.
¿Es que puede un hombre juzgar a Dios? No, Moisés. No podemos comprender sus propósitos. Ni siquiera Ismael comprendió que Dios le enviaba al interior del desierto para ser el padre de una nación.
¿Y ese niño se perdió en el desierto y se murió, padre?
No. Dios guió a Ismael y a su madre Agar hasta una buena tierra.
El mismo Dios que vive en esa montaña.
Seguramente, hijo.